Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Talsy. Today I wanted to talk about tarot because I love tarot and I do tarot on this channel, but I also talk about conscious manifesting, and I wanted to clear up a big misconception about tarot because a lot of people don't really understand how it fits in with the concept of reality selection or conscious awareness and all of that. So today I'm going to explain to you what's really going on when you're watching a tarot reading and how manifesting, which you're doing all the time, guys, is always coming down to your identity and your perspective. And so your total and complete consciousness, you are always experiencing reality through your awareness of being and a particular lens or a perspective that you are holding. And tarot reveals certain patterns, like for example when you watch a tarot reading and it's resonating and you feel that your SP has been distant, you haven't been speaking for X amount of time, there's a third party, or in fact they're coming in very lovingly, it's usually that you are in some kind of an identity or a state of being. And this is what you're projecting outwards out of the infinite experiences that you could have. Now, the key with tarot is that a lot of people see tarot as a predictive tool, which in some cases is true if you were to sustain the same identity and the same perception. Nothing is separate from you guys, not even the tarot. Your reality and reality is you. You as an individual are actually the infinite. And so you are, what you're doing when you are having an experience, a particular reality, a reflection shown to you through the tarot, an experience with an SP, a person that you're thinking of, or a relationship. What you are having is, say, a frame of consciousness because everything exists in the infinite now. It's actually not about past, present, and future. Even if you are seeing something as something that is going to happen, what you're doing is you are selecting it in the infinite now as something that you're going to experience. If you are thinking back to like a past memory with your SP, and you feel like this is something that has happened, and you're playing that again, you're also doing that in the now. Now, in order for you guys to comprehend this, you have to understand what I mean about frames of consciousness. So if you followed me for a while, or if you followed other manifestation channels or teachers, or you've read a bit about consciousness, you'd understand the concept that creation is finished, which means that everything that you could ever imagine is actually complete. So a thought, like an imaginal act, an affirmation, a memory, a hopeful desire, guys, which is not hopeful, anything that has come to you, through your imagination, is in fact like a whole and complete frame or an experience. So what's happening in any moment is, think of yourself like a projector, and you being the infinite observer, the one that is behind an identity at any particular moment, a state of consciousness. You, within your state or your identity, you have a lens or a perspective, and you're selecting your experience, right, as that projector, and you're spotlighting in your reality that particular experience. So everything else is already in existence, creation is finished, and you are highlighting something consciously or unconsciously, guys. So when you're not really aware, you know, you're in the habit of having a certain identity in this moment, and what's happening is that you are having, because reality is you're having reality reflect back to you who you're being. So you're experiencing like a frame of consciousness, and if you have a linear experience, because consciousness, it's not to do with linear time, okay? Time is not linear, contrary to what we have been conditioned to believe and experience. You can definitely, we have a linear 3D experience, but beyond that, time is not linear, okay? But for you, if you feel like you're having experiences that follow a logical linear sequence, and say, for example, an experience that perpetuates, say with a specific person, then this is because you are, as the observer, as an identity, it's like you're piecing together a movie frame by frame, and you're having some kind of a logical linear experience. Now guys, this is why you can have quantum shifts when you reclaim your state of being, because your reality is only ever reflecting who you believe you are, what state of consciousness you're in, including your SB, because they are you. Reality is you, including the tarot, guys. That's why you can have a tarot reading that resonates, then doesn't resonate, or the prediction doesn't come to pass. So for some of you, what happens is that you perpetuate an experience because you accept that that is the experience, that one frame, and then you continue to observe in the same way, and you have a continuation of the same experience. In the case of those of you who have been watching many tarot readings and keep saying, you know, that my SP is still not ready for a relationship, my SP is still with a third party, my twin flame is running from me, we've been doing runner chaser cycles for 6 years, my person is unhealed. Guys, everything is basically you, because it's all you. Reality is you. You are deciding to, you're selecting that particular experience from what you believe, from what you assume, and from your state of being, who you believe you are. Now, if you want to create a quantum shift, every possible frame already exists, and a frame that you're tapping into, say an imaginal act or a decision, going from, say, twin flame is running from me, or my SP hasn't contacted me in 6 years, or a third party, or any of that, guys. What you're really doing is that experience that you're choosing, say where you are with person and there's no third party, or your twin is not running from you and you're madly in love, because they're not separate from you, and everything is you, and everything is your state, your awareness of being, and what you're selecting in the now. To have a quantum shift, guys, is a complete detachment from what you are, you know, an experience that you assume to be linear in this moment, or assume to have all these conditions and circumstances, and tapping into a whole and complete experience, which already exists. It's like it's a parallel timeline in the infinite that is playing out, or effectively has played out, because past, present, and future is overlapping, guys. And you would you know, accept that experience. This is why you do techniques, guys, like an affirmation or a imaginal act or a visualization, or in a conversation where you're tapping into a completely different experience, and then you are accepting that experience and detaching from a previous experience, okay? But there's nothing more powerful than the decision, which is, because your reality can only ever reflect you. This is why we have I am that I am, guys. So anyone that's followed me for a while understands that. Otherwise, I can link up a video where I discussed that. So your state of being, your reality is always reflecting who you believe you are, and you are total in everything, right? So reality doesn't even exist without you, guys. But like, so if you are making a decision, for example, I am that I am, okay, and out of that I can select any identity in the now moment, because you're all things at once. You're everything, guys. You're it, okay? So if you're selecting the identity, say I am that I am, in the case of those of you that are watching tarot or you've had seemingly perpetuating experience where you keep resonating with a reading or readers or whatever, like, you know, your person, they're not ready yet in divine timing, or they're with a third party. Okay, so let's take the example of you watching tarot and you think that someone's your twin flame, but they're with a karmic. Well, you're selecting that reality. It is made manifest somewhere from your awareness of being. So let's say you're now in this moment, because again, you're everything, right? And everything else, like reality, is an illusion. It's kind of moving through you and through who you're being and your perspective. You're selecting in the now because you're all things and you're the source of everything. I am that I am. I'm the me that is always chosen, okay? And I'm the me that has the relationship with my person in the now. You're tapping into a whole and complete experience, okay? And so that is when everything else gets taken care of. And that in itself, that decision, is a quantum shift. And the outside inevitably must reflect that decision, but with the conviction, guys. It's about conviction. A decision is with conviction, and the conviction comes from the awareness that you're the awareness. Okay, guys? So I'm only explaining this because I wanted to clarify my method my style and what I do and why I combine tarot, but I also talk about conscious manifestation, and I emphasize in every single reading that everything exists in the now and that you have the ability in the now to choose again. And it's literally that fast, okay? In consciousness, it's instant, and there is no 3D is not separate to you, just like your SP is not separate to you and the tarot is not separate to you, guys. There's nothing outside deciding who you are, okay? Who you are. And if you are this, if you are the you, say you are the one. I am loved, I am chosen. I'm the one that has the best relationships, full stop. I'm the one SP loves, etc. There is nothing beyond a decision, and reality cannot show you anything other than who you are being. This is consciousness, guys. So when you understand metaphysics and you understand how this works, you are the validation because you're the source of it all, okay? And so you, with that, okay, there is nothing else that belongs, and there's nothing that can tell you otherwise. It's only you telling yourself otherwise. It's only you selecting an experience or perpetuating an experience, and it appears that the outside, like the tarot is deciding, or your SP is deciding, or all the other things in your reality, that you're basically saying that that is telling you that you're not this, or you don't have, and that's an illusion, guys, but it can feel like a very real experience because, again, you're the one selecting that experience. Okay, so you can also check out my last video where I talked about how manifestation is binary. You either are or you're not. You either have or you don't, which, again, if you have made a decision because you are it, you're everything, and you are that I am, you're the one that has it, okay, and you don't wait and you don't need the outside to show you who you are, your decision is final, and nothing from another state, the I'm not, or the tarot reading that resonated for that version of you, the circumstances, conditions, the third party, the runner, chaser, the hot, cold, the no contact, none of it belongs to this identity or state through which you're experiencing reality from the now. And this is where you can actually sustain, you know, if you grasp this, guys, well, you can detach from a tarot reading. You, like, you know, if it's unfavorable, you can definitely, you know, detach from circumstances, conditions, or any of it that is not serving who you're being now. And you can be pretty confident that no matter what, your reality must prove you right. And this is when you actually have the best, fastest, easiest quantum shifts and massive, drastic changes in, you know, your reality, okay? For some of you in the case that have been perpetuating the same frame by frame by frame experience in the now, in the now, in the now, that's been unfolding in a way where all you're doing is seeing a reflection of you not being the one that has what you want, or things not yet here, okay? So I like to use tarot as a tool for awareness, and this is why I do it here, guys. I like to, because why does tarot resonate for whole collectives? Well, think about it, guys. There are very common themes. Some of you are experiencing very similar patterns. Not that you're each unique, okay? But a lot of you, you know, when we think about what is being reflected back in a collective reading, you know, someone wanting to come in and make a love offer, true. That is an experience, okay? Someone running away, being cold, dismissive, avoidant, etc. True. A lot of you, that is an experience that you have, that you're having, that you have been maybe perpetuating. The tarot is not the one deciding, guys. And also, you know, the interesting thing is that when people say that a tarot reading is giving them false hope, okay, so think about it like this. Some in a collective are going to say, fantastic, I know it, that's awesome, that makes me feel powerful, it resonates, okay? And others are going to say, but I keep watching these and I never get the contact. So guys, the tarot is actually just, firstly, it's collective, which means that you're all going to filter in a totally different way because everyone has their own individual filter. But secondly, the tarot reading is only going to reaffirm your beliefs, your assumptions, okay? Or the state in which you are occupying, or a state that you're in. So even if you're in a state, an identity that says in the moment, yep, I have it, but then you go back to, I don't have it, well, the tarot reading is not going to come to pass. Or if you're a person that is like constantly watching tarot and saying, okay, I watched the tarot and why is my person not here? It's still reflecting you in the now, that experience, because you've chosen the experience where your SP is not reaching out or hasn't left the third party yet, or there's divine timing at play, or whatever assumption you're having, whatever you're choosing, and it's in the now. So guys, you can take back your power and just choose again in the now, in the now. There's nothing to wait for. There's no 3D that needs to catch up, and I'm going to do another video about this next. The illusion of waiting for the 3D to catch up. It's not true, okay? It's all perspective, so the 3D is not catching up. You're deciding what the 3D means. All of this stuff, it's all you. Everything is you, guys. So I hope that that helped and resonated, and so that is my method. I like to identify some of the patterns for certain collectives. I like to debunk these myths, and I like to remind you guys that you're source and you're the God of your reality, and you are whoever you say you are, and reality will always prove you right. Okay, so if you want to, remember, you can choose right now, in this moment, who you're being. Who do you believe you are? And if you are it, and you can choose to be anyone, then trust in that, knowing that what you decide is true. Therefore, your reality must respond, no matter what. And therefore, also, what do you assume about your desire? Because your desire is you. It's you. And what you're choosing in the now, whatever it comes to you, it's already complete. It's a frame that you're tapping into that's already made. You're not asking for it. You're not asking a tarot reading, a tarot reader, a psychic, though they can be very talented in tapping into your energy, where your focus is, who you've been in the habit of being, the characters in your show, how they have been showing up for you, okay? But it's only you that gets to decide who you are now, and you can have a completely drastic shift, okay? And if you want assistance with this in taking back your power in the now and deciding who you are in the now, so that your reality responds in a favorable way, in the way that you would really desire, okay, which is totally available to you in the now, then join my free Reconnect group, or you can take my manifesting challenge, guys, my Reconnect reset challenge. I'll link that in the description box of the video as well. And I love you guys so much, and I hope that that clarified some things for some of you. Tarot's not evil, okay? Some of the manifestation community seems to say that it might be, but I think this is because it's been misconstrued. Okay, but it's also not a decider. So the way that the tarot community has, you know, the way it's been adopted, it may be a little misleading some of you, that you feel like that, you know, the tarot has some kind of special power over and above you and your conscious decisions. Okay, so neither, so nothing beyond you. Okay, and you can use tarot to understand, like, who am I in the habit of being? Who am I aware of being? Where has my awareness been? But understand that nothing has anything to do with any linear trajectory. Nothing is predictive unless you say so. And nothing is bad or good unless you say so. So you have all the power. I'm sending you guys so much love, and I will see you in the next one.